Yeah. All right.
Hi, we are Group 8, and this is our final presentation. To give some background information on our topic, the Cal Poly Campus Health and Wellbeing Center provides a year-round care to Cal Poly students with the goal of ensuring individuals and populations feel supported and engaged, as well as empower students with evidence-based information for healthcare. From this topic, we thought of our decision problems, and the discovery-oriented problem is, why may Cal Poly students be hesitant with getting the vaccine? And our strategy-oriented problem was, how can we effectively communicate the information of health issues such as vaccine research and health impacts to the Cal Poly community? Some of our research problem includes learning about what motivates students to take the vaccine, how knowledgeable are the students towards the vaccine, how to educate students about the vaccine, as well as what is the preferred communication of what students want. And our target population consists of Cal Poly students who will be returning to the campus in the fall, and this includes students currently residing in San Luis Obispo and their hometowns. We figured this target would be a better representation to help answer our decision problems. Now, we came up with 3 hypotheses, and the first one was students who are at home will be motivated to get the vaccine to be able to be on campus in the fall. And the second one is students who see peers receive the vaccine tend to be motivated to get it and will receive it at least 2 weeks prior to coming back to campus. And finally, our third hypothesis was the information shared by the Cal Poly Wellness and Health Center is not engaging to the Cal Poly students.
We decided to conduct in-depth interviews for our qualitative research to allow for more personal connection and to gain more honest thoughts from our participants. In-depth interviews helped us distinguish individual opinions instead of swaying people to agree with other people unintentionally. And they eliminated the potential for people not to speak up in a group based on groupthink. We interviewed 8 participants whose majors are a mixture of computer science, business administration, history, EIM, city and regional planning, and environmental management and protection. Amongst the participants, 50% were males and 50% were females, consisting of second and third years. The average age was 21 years old. We contacted the interviewees through text messages and they agreed to participate in the interview without any incentives. The results of our interview showed us that 3 out of 8 were fully vaccinated, 2 received their first dose, and the remaining have not received the vaccine, but plan to in the future. One of the interviewees who hasn't received the vaccine said she is slightly hesitant with getting vaccinated because the recent Johnson & Johnson incident where about 50 million cases end up being contaminated. So that's just kind of a worry. But other than that, I might try to get vaccinated soon. This shows she wants to get vaccinated soon, but is slightly nervous about the vaccine. 2 of the interviewees are waiting to get their vaccine due to recently testing positive for COVID. One interviewee said that her doctor advised her to wait to get the vaccine. She said, "My doctor told me she thinks it would be best if I wait until my antibodies are gone to lessen my potential reaction side effects." The interviewees mentioned that if they had the choice to choose between the 3 different types of vaccines, all of them said they would choose Pfizer, but said they weren't against getting the other types. One student said, "I would choose Pfizer. It just seems like the symptoms for the second dose for Pfizer seem to be a little bit easygoing in a sense of there's not that many people who've had headaches or all aspects." Another major takeaway we discovered was all interviewees felt the Cal Poly Health Center update should be improved. They all expressed that the emails could be condensed and narrowed down to major points. One interviewee said, "I usually will skim over those emails. We get so many of them that they don't have a lot of new information I care to read." Students said the Cal Poly Health Center should focus on descriptive and concise information in emails, such as using bullet points instead of long paragraphs and the use of infographics. From these interviews, we found that students are hesitant in taking the vaccine due to some side effects that may occur, but are motivated to take it since many of their peers have received it already. We also gathered quantitative research, which we did through a survey. The survey was shared to friends at Cal Poly through campus organization Facebook groups, group texts, and email contacts. We used the convenient sampling procedure, and we chose this method due to the nature of COVID learning environment and the inability to recruit students on campus. The convenience method is not ideal as it doesn't genuinely represent the population as well as other collection methods. However, the convenience method was the most effective data collection available to us. We offered no incentives to participants, but had some students willing to help out with our research. The final sampling size consisted of 57 students.
Okay, so to answer our second hypothesis, we asked students to report how likely they are to get the vaccine, and if their peers are receiving it will influence their decision to receive it. 50.94% stated they strongly agree to get the vaccine if their peers have as well. 33.96 say that they agree, and 9.43 reported that they neither agree nor disagree. Only 3.77 of respondents reported that they are unlikely to receive the vaccine in general, but 45.28 reported that they are likely to get it, and 50.94 said that they have already received their vaccinations. These questions prove our hypothesis to be true because only 3.77 do not plan on receiving it, but only over 45% of participants stated that they are likely to get it, and the majority strongly agree on receiving it since the people surrounding them have. At the time of the survey, over half the respondents had already received their shots, but there's a positive correlation between the students receiving the vaccine and their peers receiving it. This can be found in question 3 in our survey. Piggybacking off of this, we found that 88.68% of those surveyed said that they would receive the vaccine by September. 9.43 had not yet decided, and only 1.89 said that they would not receive the vaccine by September. We chose to ask about September specifically in this question as Cal Poly usually begins fall quarter in September, with this year falling on the 20th. This can be found in question 4 of our survey. Based on this information, we can conclude that an overwhelming majority of students plan to be vaccinated at least 2 weeks before returning to school in the fall, further confirming our second hypothesis. In question 7 of our survey, we asked students how they want information from the school regarding COVID shared with them. Our group felt that there may be a better way Cal Poly could communicate information, as their emails typically seem lengthy and redundant, as seen based on our third hypothesis. That Cal Poly students are not engaged enough when reading information from campus health and well-being. Based on the results of our survey, Cal Poly students overwhelmingly prefer to read bullet points when the university is providing new information regarding COVID to students. Some students also express that infographics may be a good way to keep students engaged and encourage them to read the information in the emails in full. In question 9, we asked students how engaging they found Cal Poly's emails shared by campus health and well-being on a 5-point scale, ranging from very engaging to very disengaging. Based on our results, we noticed that the majority of students felt neutral about how engaging the emails were, or even felt that they were slightly engaging. With that said, we cannot conclude that our third hypothesis is true. Based on our discovery and strategy oriented questions, we recommend that Cal Poly Health and Wellness Center provide students with shorter, more concise emails in order to get the point across effectively, and to include some sort of engaging infographic, such as how many students have already been vaccinated. And that's the end of our presentation. Thank you for listening.